start last time anyway. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Mike, you got me? 1 2 1 2. Good. Good afternoon and welcome to Cable 18's live coverage of the 2003 election here in Wallingford. John Sullivan, Ed McCarver is at Republican headquarters this evening. Kenny Blakesley is at Democratic headquarters. We'll get live reports as well as tape. We'll also take phone calls from both of our reporters in the field. An interesting race tonight, an incumbent Republican mayor in Wallingford being challenged and challenged well by a Democratic mayoral hopeful in Michael Brodinsky. Mr. Brodinsky's platform being one of modernizing Town Hall, maintaining the current taxes through 2004 without an increase, as well as starting several different new programs, one of them being a teen advisory as well as a beautification committee. Mr. Dickinson, check that. Mr. Brodinsky has served 2 terms on the town council as a Democrat, representing the minority on the council. And we had the opportunity to go out this evening to the field and get some video. So we'd like to show that to you right now. The first one is from the town library. And Ed McCarver is here with us. Let's go to that video right now. Ed?
Public Library, and with me is the wife of Democratic challenger Michael Brodinsky. Ann Brodinsky, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Ed.
And now, how long have you been here at the library?
Well, I started at 6 a.m. this morning, and I was here for the morning rush, people voting before going to work until about 9 o'clock. I've been doing some other picking up and delivering of people and that sort of thing, and arrived back here at 11, and I'm here for the duration.
How's the turnout been so far here?
It's been pretty steady all day. Here at the library, it's sometimes hard to tell what's library traffic and, who are the voters, but it's been steady.
What have people been saying to you as you keep your 75-foot distance from the voting booth?
Well, we often get a thumbs-up sign or a wave from people who I'm sure are supporters, and people have been friendly.
Did you ever think this day would come way back when your husband announced his candidacy? Did you think November 4th, 2003 would finally get here?
Actually, the year has flown by, and I'm glad of it. It's been a long year. Mike's worked very, very hard, and but it has gone quickly, and so we're here now, and we'll see what happens tonight.
All right, one final question. I know you're very busy today. Where are you going to watch the returns tonight?
I'll be at the Hungarian Hall. That's where the Democrats are going to be for the vote count, so we'll be there from 7:30 on.
All right, well, thank you for taking time out to talk to us. Good luck tonight. John, that's the story here from District Number 3, the Wallingford Public Library, with Ann Brodinsky, wife of Democratic challenger Michael Brodinsky. Back to you in the studio.
Vote for Mike.
Thank you, Ed. Good report. Mike Brodinsky, of course, the 59-year-old attorney, graduated with a law degree from the University of Connecticut and a bachelor's degree from Colby University. He has been on the town council. This is his 2nd term, and again, his platform is based on keeping spending down, avoiding costly errors, and not overtaxing. He's also going to take advantage of technology such as the internet and the municipal websites and get Town Hall online for greater efficiency and better service. He's also going to form a cultural development commission, a beautification committee, and a teen advisory council. Mike's also going to reassess the adequacy of youth sports facilities and address what needs to be done. Of course, that is aimed at the Wallingford Little League in its hunt for a new facility. Mike's also planning to modernize, energize, and streamline the town's approach to inappropriate economic development in order to improve the tax base. That is Michael Brodinsky. Of course, the incumbent, William Dickinson, 56 years old. He is also an attorney, receiving his law degree from George Washington University, his bachelor's from the Unity Law School and Dickinson College. He has been the mayor and resided at Town Hall since 1984, a Republican mayor in Wallingford since 1984. The mayor's platform is as follows. He's going to maintain the town's financial health, keep the town's AA1 credit rating, and ensure the continuity of services. He's also going to proceed with the $62 million school renovation project, requiring an additional $2 million in annual budgets for payments on borrowed money. Mr. Dickinson is also going to proceed with the public library's desired expansion upon the availability of necessary money. We also visited Parker Farm School today in the field, and we are going to go there now and meet Michael Brodinsky, who was there to support his cause. Hi, John Sullivan at District 8 with Democratic mayoral candidate Mike Brodinsky. Mike, how long have you been out here this morning?
Well, we started at the library, and we got there at about 6:30. We were there for 2-3 hours, and we went to Stevens for a little bit. Went to Cook Pond Hill for a little bit, and we've been here since about 11. Yeah.
Mike, your platform has been finances.
Yep.
It's been bringing the web to town hall. It's all about Little League and services to the community.
Yeah, well, taxes is the big issue. You know, we had this biggest tax increase in our history, bigger tax increase than the other towns. At the same time, we had the biggest surplus ever, so that's a big issue. It shouldn't have happened. It was completely avoidable, and that's what most voters are thinking about and talking about.
District 1 and 2, primarily Republican districts. Is it a key to win both of those districts? Those usually come in early. Will we get an indication of how the election may go if we get those in early?
I don't think you're going to see any keys. I think it's going to be a close vote. I think every district is going to be close. I think you're going to have to wait for the vote count in the very last district that's going to come in, and that'll tell the tale. Yeah.
You getting a good response here?
Yeah, we're getting a great response. I mean, I think voters appreciate the fact that candidates are out there at the polls and the kind of the fog, you know, the cold fog. We're getting a lot of thumbs up, a lot of encouraging words. We're feeling great about it.
Now, I know you are communicating via cell phones because you knew we talked to your wife before we could even tell you. Is the same type of communication going on in all the districts?
Well, first of all, we have our eye on you guys. You know, you can't make a move from your Channel 18 studio unless we know about it. Because actually, I didn't say this in the answer to the last question. You are the key to this election.
Oh yeah.
And your coverage is the key to the last question. So, are we in touch? Yeah. I mean, we have everyone's cell phone number, and we're in touch with each other, and just see how it's going, and keeping our spirits up, because we're standing around as it gets a little chilly, and we have a good time with each other, and that's why we do it. Really, it's not a great strategy that we have. It's just to say hi.
Well, you have State Representative Mary Mashinsky with you, and so it's probably not a good thing to say you've been having fun with each other.
Well, we've been joking around with each other, and some voters have come up, and we've been joking around with them and exchanging pleasantries. So it's a good time. I mean, anyone who runs for office needs to enjoy this. We certainly do, and having a great time.
Mike, a lot of voters feel that this is the best Democratic ticket in years since Joe Govea challenged the mayor back in the early 90s. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm really proud of the platform, the ticket that we have, from the Board of Ed candidates right up to the council. They're a great bunch of thinkers, great minds. I'm just so proud of them, and I'm happy to be running with them. Yeah.
Okay, well, I wish you luck. And you know what? You're not watching us close enough. Here's your wallet.
No, I actually, I have yours.
Gets me every time. He's always prepared, this guy.
And I know yours has more money in it than mine, especially after this campaign.
I think not, Mike. All right, let's go back to the studio for more. All right, that was mayoral candidate Mike Brodinsky, Democrat, running for mayor. This evening, we are probably about 15 minutes away from the polls closing. I want to give you an example of what we will use this evening. WPAA Cable 18 has come up with VoterVision. Now, VoterVision will give us the districts as well as the totals as the night goes on. Walter, can we show the folks at home what VoterVision looks like on their screen? There you see the two candidates for mayor, Michael Brodinsky on the top and William Dickinson on the bottom. And across the top of your screen are the districts. Now, those will add up automatically on VoterVision, and we will keep track of all of the votes as they come in right here from our Cable 18 studios. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Jim Vombaco, who is currently the Democratic Town Councilor up for re-election, and I see Senator State Senator Len Fasano, also in the studio. We'll be talking to him as well. Stay with us. We have lots more live coverage to go. We will not leave tonight until this election night is over. You'll know who your mayor, your town councilors, and your Board of Education is this evening. Stay with us right here on Cable 18.
Because he was diagnosed with cancer as a baby. Because she was told she would not live to be 9. Because she should have a chance to grow up. Each year, thousands of children learn they have cancer or another deadly disease. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital needs your help to research cures and treat these children, regardless of their parents' ability to pay. Because they deserve to dream. Call now to learn more about St. Jude's life-saving work.
What does being involved really mean? Is it making grilled cheese sandwiches for a sleepover? Staying for the curtain call at the talent show? Or learning the names of their favorite bands? Believe it or not, right now there are parents just like you out there talking about things like this. From school to home, from friends to futures. And we'd like you to be a part of it. National PTA, every child, one voice.
At 32, Carol had her first heart attack. Michelle began kidney dialysis right before graduation. A brain seizure kept Maria out of work for nearly a year. Without warning, lupus can attack the major organs. Every day, it disables its victims, especially women. Like most Americans, I didn't know how life-threatening lupus could be until my sister was diagnosed. It's time we do something about it.
For more information about lupus, contact the Lupus Foundation of America.
Looking for a part-time job that'll help pay for college? Consider one that can do that and a lot more. The Air National Guard. We've got the Montgomery GI Bill and a special cash bonus that can help get you through college. And training that can put you on course for an impressive full-time job. The Air National Guard. It's money for college and fuel for your future. Call 1-800-2GO-ANG.
Welcome back to our Cable 18's live 2003 election coverage. John Sullivan, and I am joined right now by our friend Jimmy Vambacco, who is currently a town councilor and up for re-election this year. Jimmy, so good to have you here in the studio with us.
Asking me, John.
Well, it's good to have you. As you always do, you seem to show up around election time. You always take us up on our invitation.
Absolutely.
You're always the first one in and the first one out.
There you go. Absolutely.
Jim, this is a great race tonight in Wallingford. We have the first serious challenge to the incumbent William Dickinson since Joe Govea back in the early 90s.
Yeah, I think Michael's brought a whole new perspective to what running for mayor is all about in the town that we haven't seen in the last 15, 16 years. He's really energized, I think, a whole slew of new people that have become really actively involved in the campaign. So it's not just that inner circle. We were actually, a couple nights ago, we were kind of summing up what's going on for the last 13 months, because it has been 13 months since Mike announced. And I told him, we were talking about the inner circle, and you always talk amongst yourselves, so you get yourself pumped up. But he's brought in a whole new ring of people that have been supporting him, and it's good. It's a lot of young people, a lot of new people. I think it's been good for Wallingford politics as a whole.
The last election, the mayoral election, the Democrats decided not to run a candidate. Jim, did that hurt the Democratic Party?
In hindsight, I think it did, yes, because it allowed them, the opposition, the Republican side, to focus purely on their candidates for board ed and council. Yeah, I think it did.
Now, you are currently vice chairman of the Wallingford Planning and Zoning. You've been 2 terms now on the town council. Is it tough being in the minority on the town council?
Yeah, it's very difficult because it's difficult at times to get your message across. Even though there's free speaking back and forth when it comes to issues, if you want to present an idea in the form of a motion, it's very difficult to get it passed when you're in a minority.
You must feel pretty strong about the slate of candidates the Democrats currently have running on this ticket.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best slates that I've ever been involved with, even when I date myself back to when my dad's days were when he was running for mayor. I think we have a strong slate, a wide variety of people, a very diverse candidate base, and yeah, I was very, very excited about the people that running this year.
Of course, your dad, and it wasn't that long ago, was the mayor before William Dickinson took office in 1984.
Yes, at that time, Dad was the longest-sitting mayor until Bill came along.
What are some of the changes, Jimmy, you hope to make, or some of the old unfinished business that needs to be done during your next 2 terms should you be reelected?
Yeah, I think from my perspective, it's the finances. I'm still not happy with the way things are done as far as the budgeting process is concerned. I think it's a little bit too conservative as far as the projections of the revenue streams and as far as the projections of the expenses. So I think that's one of the key issues that I'd like to focus on. It's my forte as it is anyway, so it's something I'm really actively involved in. And the other issue, again, I know it seemed to be that was initially one issue that was stressed by us was the technology piece. But I work for the Indian Nation over in Ledyard, and it's a government in and of itself that's, it's about the same size as Wallingford as far as dollars are concerned. And
you're the director of finance at
the Museum and Research for Mashantucket, Pequot.
Wow,
That's
okay.
correct.
So if anybody knows finance,
yeah,
it'll be you.
Absolutely, and technology too, and we use it a lot over there as far as, and this is something I think we need to take Wallingford into the 21st century here. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Very good. Jimmy, you're a good friend, and we wish you all the luck in the world in the election.
Well, thank you very much, and I enjoy coming here. You're a good man, John. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we are going to now bring in, I think State Senator Len Fasano is here, and if we could urge him to come on up and have a seat with us, a surprise visit. Of course, he's a friend of ours as well. And as he comes in, Len, good to see you.
Nice to see you, John.
How's things? Staying busy up at the state capitol?
Kind of quiet right now, frankly, which is good. Yes. We're getting ready to start session again in February, but there's some public hearings that are going on for different issues. So, farmland issue, open space issue I'm involved in. There was a blue ribbon task force on municipal taxes, how to change the structure of that. So they're going to start to go around from town to town to talk about those issues.
Now, Len, you represent Wallingford, North Haven, and East Haven, and there's quite a race. I know you have Mayor Machuro in East Haven right now, and I'm sure there's a great race in North Haven. But here in Wallingford, you currently have a Republican mayor who's been in office since 1984, and he is meeting his first serious challenger in many years. You think this race is a little different than in years past?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience in Wallingford mayoral elections really in years past. But, I watched the way the campaign went this year. I obviously been keeping tabs on it, and it's a very exciting campaign. And I urge people, the poll's going to close, another 10 or 8 minutes?
7 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't voted, you have to go vote. I mean, that's just what you have to do. It's your right to vote, but it's your obligation to vote. So you have to go out there and make sure you get to the polls, no matter who you vote for. I think it's important. But I think it's going to be, I think it's a well-fought campaign. The issues are out there for the people to choose from, and there wasn't mudslinging that's usually seen in a lot of campaigns. So I think that was a nice campaign to watch.
Two real talented gentlemen running for the office of mayor this year. Both leaders, both bring the skills to the office. One proven, and a challenger who has brought skills from another line of work as an arbitrator for the Superior Court system.
Yeah, and I would say in 2 different styles, I think emerged out of this campaign. The one style of Mayor Dickinson, which we've all come to learn over the last 18, 20 years, and Mike's style, which is more hands on and being involved and a little bit more upfront style. So I think those two that you saw in the campaign, those different styles emerge. So I think that that's an interesting contrast that the voters have to take a look at.
I think we have another piece of video that I'd like to go to right now, if we can, Walter. We're going to go to let's see. I believe we're going to go to Dag Hammarskjöld and Ed McCarver. So let's go there, and we'll be back with Senator Fasano and more live election coverage right after this. Let's see that cut right now.
John, we're here at the Dag Hammarskjöld Middle School, the site of District Number 4 in this year's election. And with me is Bob Beaumont, the moderator. How are you?
Doing just fine, thank you.
How's the turnout been today?
Turnout's Well, in my opinion, it's always slow. I look to see a heavy turnout. It's not bad. When you consider the fact that the weather's iffy-ish, it's not too bad at all.
How about the fact that this is considered a close mayoral race, perhaps the closest since the Govea-Dickinson race back in the 80s? Do you think that'll bring out more voters?
I would think that that's a good probability, yeah. Generally speaking, your municipal elections do not get quite the turnout that you're apt to get in either your gubernatorial or your presidential. For some reason, people come out more for presidential, even though the local government actually has more direct impact on them.
Are there generally waves of voters? Do most of the voters come early in the morning before work, or perhaps after work, your what's called your afternoon drive time, the 5 o'clock hour?
You probably are going to see three different peaks, if you will. One is going to be certainly early in the morning before going to work. You'll get another one sometimes around lunch hour, and then certainly, I would say from my experience over the last 30 years, probably the biggest is after work or the dinner hour.
Now, you've been involved in quite a few campaigns yourself, either on different political issues. How do you rate this one?
Well, in terms of the campaign itself, in all candor, it seems like it's probably been a reasonably quiet one. I mean, it's not fraught with some of the fireworks we've had in certain campaigns, 20, 30 years ago. I think it's been run in a gentlemanly manner and with a minimum of mudslinging, etc., which is always refreshing.
All right, very good. Well, we know you're very busy. To go back in there and moderate, we want to thank you for taking time out to talk to us, and we'll talk to you later on.
Okay, very fine. Thank you.
All right, John, that's the story here from Dag Hammarskjöld Middle School, District Number 4, as we prepare for tonight's election results. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Ed. Good report from Dag Hammarskjöld Middle School, Ed McCarver. I'm speaking right now with 34th State District State Senator Len Fasano, who's kind enough to stop into the studio. Len, you ran a very close race with Brian McDermott just 1 year ago. Can you tell me about some of the anxiety and pressures as Election Day approaches and finally comes?
Well, I think as the election wears down on you and the time's running out and you're waiting for the big election day, you're getting tired. I mean, you've been out there campaigning, shaking hands, doing what you can to be successful. And then I think you get to the last day, and you know it's the last day, and you're kind of happy that it's finally coming to a close. But I got to tell you, I think the worst time by far is when the polls have closed, it's 8 o'clock, you can't keep busy by shaking hands anymore or talking to folks, and you're waiting for the numbers to come in. That's torture, It is the worst, because especially with the election I had with Brian, with the 3 districts coordinating 3 different towns, is very difficult. And you're waiting for the numbers, and it was up, it was down, it was up, it was down. I think that's the worst part for any candidate, I think, is just waiting for those numbers to come in.
I gotta ask you, what if it went the other way, Len, and you didn't receive the votes and Brian remained state senator? How would you have felt at that point? I mean, I know how hard you worked, and I would imagine it would have been a little bit of a letdown.
It would have been, but when I have to go back, and Carm Koza was my coach at Yale football, and he had a saying, which was, when you played the football game, make sure you left the field with no regrets. Right. And he used to say that every time he went out to the game. Say, make sure, win or lose, you have no regrets. The team may be better than you, but as long as the team that you're playing, as long as you did the best you could. And I really ran on that philosophy. Everything I thought I should do, I did. Everything somebody suggested I did do. So I think that's why I ran that campaign. If I lost, I know that I did the best I could, and that's all I could ever do.
Well, Len, we're glad you're our state senator. I know you represent Wallingford very well, as well as North Haven and East Haven. You're a friend to us here at Cable 18. Always glad to have you stop in. And you're not a bad golfer. I think if you practice a lot more, you'd be a little bit better.
It's a good thing they don't vote on my golfing ability.
And leave your cell phone at home, and you can focus on your golf.
John, thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
My pleasure. Thank you, Len. We're going to come right back with more interviews and much, much more as the polls close at 8 o'clock. Stay with us for more live 2003 election coverage on Cable 18.
Breast cancer doesn't just affect
affect women. This year, nearly 40,000 women will die. The Breast Cancer Research Foundation has awarded $40 million in research grants. Please help us make a difference. Visit us at bcrfcure.org or call 1-866-FIND-A-CURE.
Athletic competition is all about potential. The opportunity to look inside yourself, to challenge yourself, to be better than you ever dreamed imaginable. Junior achievement is also about dreams and the potential to make those dreams come true. JA's free enterprise education programs help kids say, I can, when everything around them says you can't. Junior achievement. Let their potential be your inspiration.
If you have diabetes, you know you have an increased risk of kidney disease, blindness, and amputations. But did you know that 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die from heart disease or stroke? Fortunately, you can reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke by lowering your blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol. If you have diabetes, ask your doctor to tell you more about the link between diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Call us.
Sometimes I feel like other girls, but sometimes I don't. I can't write or play sports, or sometimes I can't even ride bikes. It's affected my wrists, my knees, and my ankles. I'm Amanda. I have juvenile arthritis.
Take control and log on to arthritis.org. We can help.
Welcome back to our live election coverage here at WPAA Cable 18. 3 newcomers to the political scene here in Wallingford, and they are all very young, and they are running for the Board of Education. For the Republicans, Heather Laffin. She is 21 years old. She has a bachelor's degree in English from Siena College. She is a part-time employee. She's in sales, and she doesn't have a lot of experience. However, she did replace Carmen Arisco on the Board of Education on the untimely passing. Let me check that. She does have some experience. She has replaced Carmen Arisco. Most recently, Carmen, of course, passing away in September in a motor vehicle accident. Part of Heather Laffin's platform is compliance with the No Child Left Behind Act, reinforcing college preparatory classes and distributing more information to students and their parents, all very important. The other 2 newcomers are on the Democratic side of the fence. They are Jennifer Cozy Hernandez. She's a 31-year-old homemaker with 3 children. She is a political newcomer. Her platform is to make sure that the policy written is the strong policies currently written are adhered to in such areas as bullying. She plans on creating a strong program for children with special needs and understands the special concerns of a single parent. Also a newcomer this year to the Democratic Party, Carla Perrone. She's 30 years old. She has 2 children. This is her first time running for public office, and her platform is also to make sure that all children, no matter their circumstances or educational ability, get the same quality education. Also, compliance with the No Child Left Behind, and to make sure class sizes are within acceptable limits. Of course, the Board of Education candidates are probably going to be those elected entering into one of the most politically charged situations of the Wallingford Board of Education, and that is the $69 million renovation currently underway throughout the town of Wallingford. The renovation at Lyman Hall High School will begin in spring of 2004, and these folks are charged with managing that project. Some of the newcomers on the for the office of town council include Vincenzo Di Natale. He's a Democrat, 34 years old. He's a civil engineer for the city of Bridgeport. He has a master's degree in engineering from Tufts University. Mr. Di Natale has served 4 years on the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission. He has also served 5 years on planning and zoning. Also, you could call him a newcomer, but he has served on the Board of Education and served well. Vinny Testa, 43-year-old account executive at Wells Fargo. Mr. Testa has a bachelor's degree in biology and political science. He was formerly on the Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission and served 8 years on the Board of Education. Mr. Testa's platform is to provide Wallingford with a Little League complex, one site, as well as manage the tax rate, continue the school renovation project, and improve contract negotiations for municipal employees. Also a newcomer for the office of town council on the Democratic side of the fence is Michael Spiteri. Michael Spiteri is a 43-year-old retired plumber and boiler room technician. Mr. Spiteri has received an associate's degree in science and mechanical engineering from Waterbury State Technical College. He has also been on the Board of Education for the past 3 years, co-chairman of the Board Operations Committee, and he is also an ACES representative. Mr. Spiteri throwing his hat in the ring for the town council. Of the incumbent town councilors, the Republicans have 5, including Stephen Knight, of course, as the vice chairman. He's age 58. He is the owner and principal CEO of Transport Management Costs, a shipping firm. He has a bachelor's degree in economics from St. Lawrence University, and he has served 10 years currently on the town council. Also, the Republican Party represented by incumbent Jerry Farrell, 35-year-old attorney here in town with a law degree from Villanova. He also attended and received a degree from Holy Cross. Mr. Farrell has been on the town council now for 6 years. He is the State Marshal Commission Vice Chair. He also serves on the Connecticut Trust for Historic Preservation. He is the president and founder of that organization, as well as the chairman of the Wallingford Historic District. Also running for his second term, Henry Tolman. Mr. Tolman, a 59-year-old retired bank investment officer, graduated with a degree in business from Columbia University and a graduate degree from Fairfield University. Mr. Tolman served his first 2-year term on the town council, and his platform is to continue with the renovation and reconstruction of roads and bridges throughout the town of Wallingford, continue to be prudent and judicious with taxpayers' money, as well as maintain services while balancing the budget. Mr. Tolman also looks to negotiate a good utility contract and keep rates low. Also, Raymond J. Rise Sr., who has been on the town council now for 14 years. He was most recently the co-chairperson. Mr. Rise has a platform of working hard to keep taxes stable for the town of Wallingford, continue to support the school renovation project, as well as support increased tax credit to veterans as state statutes. Of course, Mr. Rise, a Vietnam veteran. Also, a veteran of 2 years on the town council is Lois Doherty. Ms. Doherty is a 60-year-old. She retired after 23 years of service at Meriden Wallingford Hospital. She has a bachelor's degree from the University of Connecticut, and she is also serving on the advisory committee. Ms. Doherty's platform is to balance the budget of service while maintaining stable taxes, of course, prudent acquisition of open space, and very involved in the linear trail is Lois Doherty. Also up for re-election is incumbent town council chairperson Robert Parisi. Mr. Parisi is 68 years old. He is retired. He has an associate's in business administration from Leicester Junior College. He has been on the town council for over 30 years. Mr. Parisi has a platform of maintaining a good financial position for the town, as well as continuing support of prudent budget practice. Those are some of your candidates seeking office. We have others that we'll be talking about. At this time, however, I would like to cut to an interview at Republican headquarters with Jerry Farrell. Let's go to Republican headquarters right now and Ed McCarver. Edward?
Four, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, John. I'm here at Brothers Restaurant, where the Republicans are gathering tonight to view the election returns. And with me is incumbent Republican Councilman Jerry Farrell. Jerry, how do you feel with moments before the polls close tonight?
Well, I've been out and have been meeting people out at the polls, and turnout is good, so we'll see what the people have to say tonight.
You know, they say the mayoral race in particular is going to be a close race. Any indication that on your visits to the polls today?
Well, I think the fact that turnout was high is an indication that there's a lot of interest. The council races don't get anywhere near as much attention, unfortunately.
Has there been one issue that people have talked to you about as far as the council is concerned in this campaign?
We hear about taxes, we hear about other issues. It's largely a financial thing, so I think people understand that if they want all the services the town offers, that unfortunately there's a bill to pay that goes with that.
Looking back on the campaign, did it go just about as you thought it would do? Is there anything you would do to change it, looking back on it?
For myself, no. I mean, if you're an incumbent and you've been in as long as I have, people have a sense for who you are. So either they like you or they don't. So I don't think I'd change what I did in the campaign.
Now, this is your fifth term, I believe, as a councilman. This is your fifth election, not counting the run for the 85th seat and the probate judge. Does it get any easier? Do you still get the butterflies on election night?
I think you sleep a little bit better if you've been through this a couple times.
Well, all right, Jerry, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you later on. John, that's the story down here as the votes are, or the polls rather, are open for just a few more minutes. Let's go back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Ed. Nice job.
Five.
McCarver down at Republican headquarters, the Brothers Restaurant. And we'll have other interviews. Ken Blakesley is also at Democratic headquarters. We'll be showing you some of those interviews from Democratic headquarters. Some of the other candidates that we did not talk about yet that we will are certainly the Board of Education chairperson. That's Andrew Bravo. Mr. Bravo is a 52-year-old. He has a bachelor's degree in business management from Albertus Magnus College. He works at Sikorsky Aircraft as an engineer. He has been on the Board of Education for 9 years. He was the former chairman of the Wallingford Republican Town Committee. His platform, Mr. Bravo's platform, to continue work on school renovation project. Again, that $69 million school renovation project. Currently, Moses Y. Beach School, the only school that is near completion, and I understand that will be completed within the next month before they move on to Lyman Hall High School. Mr. Bravo is also going to continue the implementation of technology and ensure that no Wallingford schools are categorized as failing under the No Child Left Behind Act. He's also going to work with the school superintendent to spark interest in getting Wallingford students to attend Edison Middle School in Meriden in the math and science. The Edison School, of course, is a math and science program. Okay, we are going to be syncing up with WELI 960 AM in just a few moments. We'll be simulcasting live over WELI with Paul Pacelli, who is sitting at the anchor desk at WELI. Some of the other candidates, Michael J. Votto representing the Democrats. Mr. Votto is seeking seeking a seat on the Board of Education, a former Board of Education member. Mr. Votto is a teacher in the North Branford Public School System. He served on the Board of Education for one term from 1999 to 2000. Mr. Votto's platform to get appropriate class sizes, as well as see more money spent in ways that specifically impact children, as well as improve special education. Right now, let's go to a clip. Edward McCarver is at Republican headquarters, and Ed has incumbent Mayor William Dickinson with him. Let's go to that clip right now. Edward.
Polls closed. Mayor, I wanted to ask, what was your day like today?
Oh, it's a busy day, but it's nice to have the campaign season drawing to a close.
You've been doing this now for 20 years, since 1983. Does it get easier or does it get more difficult?
I think it always gets more difficult. There's always, the pressures to reacquaint yourself with, and there's a lot of stress associated with it. But some factors don't change. You know, you need to get a message out and need to say hello to people and do all of the basics that are associated with elections.
You know, a lot of people are saying this will be one of the closest races in recent memory. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think we'll find out in a very short time.
Okay, but you feel confident?
Well, I generally feel confident.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much. I know you're going to have your dinner. I appreciate you, and good luck tonight.
Okay, thank you.
All right, John, that's the situation down here with incumbent Mayor William Dickinson. Let's go back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Ed. Good job, of course. Live 2003 election coverage coming from our studios at 128 Center Street. We were just reviewing some of the candidates for the office of Board of Education. Let's talk about Karen Levesque, age 46. Karen has a bachelor's degree from Regents College with a master's in public health from the University of Connecticut. Ms. Levesque is a registered nurse at Accord Incorporated in Wallingford, and she is a current member on the State Council on Retardation. She was on the Board of Education from 1995 to 1999, and she was also the Republican Town Committee chairperson. Also, Tom Hennessy, age 52. Mr. Hennessy is currently the co-chairperson on the Board of Education. He is a graduate of the Connecticut and Colorado Law School. And we are going to go to commercial now? Is that what I'm told? All right, we're having technical difficulties. Let's go to a commercial.
A bug in the kitchen. You probably think it's a little thing. Yet studies show that cockroaches are a significant factor in childhood asthma. West Nile virus, Lyme disease, and encephalitis are all transmitted by common pests. And while some 365,000 homes will be struck by fire this year, 2 million will be damaged by termites. Maybe it's time to take a closer look at who's sharing your home with you. For more information, visit pestworld.org.
I build schools.
I battle injustice.
I eradicate landmines.
I feed the hungry. I shape international policy.
I protect children.
I fight for human rights.
I find homes for refugees.
I dig wells.
I develop economies.
I teach people to read.
I influence the president.
I heal the sick. I comfort the grieving.
I make the world better.
I make a difference.
I change the world, so can you.
That's a great putt by Jennifer. Raymond really got a hold of that one. A lot of hard work is starting to pay off for Gene.
With programs like First Tee, Special Olympics, Midnight Golf, and the Money Program, PGA of America members are dedicated to reaching thousands of individuals in all kinds of communities.
Words can't describe the feeling of winning your first tournament.
Snowboarder, Olympic bronze medalist, every day, our lives, and the lives of others. I'm living proof that being ongoing is the right one. Make the decision to be an overgoing in his life. Make the decision to be an organ donor. Make the decision to donate life.
Noise. There's more of it in your life than you think.
Cloudy skies with flurries today.
Everyday sounds from household appliances to traffic. Even a crowded restaurant can hit 85 decibels. Stick it in, it's creamy. Audiologists know that 85 decibels day after day can cause permanent hearing loss. However the rest of your day is going, keep an eye on your ears. For more on protecting your hearing, visit ASHA.org, the American Speech Language Hearing Association.
WELI. It's bound to...
Welcome back to our live election coverage. John Sullivan here, and we are just about ready to go to a simulcast with 960 WELI. We were talking about some of the candidates here. Michael Votto, one of the folks to return to the election scene here in Wallingford is Republican Joan Barbuto. Ms. Barbuto is 70 years old, received a bachelor's degree from Mount Holyoke College and a master's in English from Columbia University. She has a teacher's degree from Trinity College, 6-year certificate in counseling from St. Joseph's College in West Hartford, and she is a retired journalist and teacher. She served as a Board of Education member for 8 years. She was the chairwoman of the Board of Education's Instructional Committee for 8 years. That is Joan Barbuto. Also, Brian Doonan, who is a Republican, age 50, with a bachelor's degree from Colgate, master's degree in business administration from Quinnipiac College. And he is a information technology consultant, and he has been on the Board of Education for 2 years. And we are now going to a Mr. Pacelli, how are you, sir?
I'm all right, sir. Do we have any early indication yet as to the way this contest may be going between William Dickinson and Mike Brodinsky?
At this time, we do not, Paul, but we are holding our breath because the results should be in within the next 10 minutes. Of course, Mayor William Dickinson, the incumbent here in Wallingford for 18 years, and this is the first real threat to the Republican mayor's 18-year reign in some time here in Wallingford.
Yeah, now I recall, John, 2 or 3 elections ago, he did have a close shave, and the name of the candidate escapes me now, but other than that, it's been pretty much a cakewalk, like you said, since the mid-'80s.
Well, that was back in '92, and the candidate was Joe Gouveia, Paul. And yes, he did throw a legitimate scare into the candidacy of William Dickinson, but Mr. Dickinson prevailed and continued on. And the folks here are very conservative in Wallingford. They like a good thing when they have it going. And with low taxes and great electrical rates in town, the taxpayers voted in. Well, the town has a AA bond rating, Paul, which only 19 other municipalities in Connecticut have. Taxes were raised 10% about 2 months ago, and that has been part of the platform for Democratic mayoral nominee Mike Brodinsky.
All right, John Sullivan. John, thank you so much. We'll get back with you. John Sullivan.
Okay, and we are back with live election coverage, of course, simulcast 960 WELI. John Sullivan here at the anchor desk, Ed McCarver, as well as Kenny Blakesley out in the field right now, and we have lots of election coverage to go. Please stay with us as we move on through the night. The polls have been closed now for about 25 minutes. We are awaiting election totals to come in, and when they do, we'll have them here for you. Again, want to remind you, you're watching Cable 18's live election coverage coming to you from our studio at 128 Center Street. John Sullivan here, and Ed McCarver is at Brothers at Republican headquarters, and he has already sent along 2 reports. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take another break. We'll take one more break if we can, and we'll come back with some totals. Are we going to take a break, or are we not going to take a break? We are not going to take a break? Okay, we're going to continue.
I am reporting the storm.
I am the line in the sand.
Roger that, everything looks good. I am the rescuer in the dark. It's okay, I got you.
guys hear me now?
We are the shield of freedom.
A, B, C,
We are the United States Coast Guard.
A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, Q, R, S, T. I don't know what ABCs. That's okay. I'm just too lazy to think of them right now.
Yes, he does.
Are you okay?
Pretty clever. Watch. Plato, suppose this man wants to buy, surplus government property. How would he do that?
1-800-FED-INFO.
The bird's a brain. The man wants to find out, what countries are okay to travel to, and he needs a passport.
1-800-FED-INFO.
Plato, in your big opera voice, tell him how he can get a copy of his birth certificate.
1-800-FED-INFO.
Is that all he says? 1-800-FED-INFO?
Try getting that from a lizard. Plato here knows the number for the Federal Consumer Information Center, where you'll find all you need to know about government benefits and services, and you can talk to a real person.
Really?
Plato, how can this man find out about Social Security benefits?
Well, 1-800-FED-INFO, yeah.
I'll keep him. He talked me into it.
He talked me into it.
Spread the word.
Back to our live election coverage. We are having some audio glitches. We apologize. We're working on them. We should be back live on the air right now. We have Kenny Blakesley on the phone right now, and Kenny is at Democratic headquarters located at Hungarian Hall. Kenny, how's the scene down there at Democratic headquarters?
Yeah, it's getting a little bit loud down here. It's a very festive crowd. Most of the supporters are here. All the candidates are here surrounding me. They're just waiting for the arrival of the tallies of the votes. That should be coming in right now. And
Kenny, how long do they figure before the results come in?
The only thing I've been told, John, was at about 8:15 the votes would start to be tallied up about 8:15. I'm not exactly positive how long it'll take. I know they're doing the best they can right now to tally all the votes up.
Okay, Kenny, I'm going to let you go because VoterVision has already picked up 2 districts, and we're going to go to that in just a moment. So you call us back and keep us in touch.
All right, we'll keep in touch with you, John. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Ken. Ken Blakesley at Democratic headquarters. Let's go right now to VoterVision. 2 districts have reported. Let's check them out. You can see District 1 has come in. District 1 is primarily a Republican district, and incumbent Mayor William Dickinson has won District 1, 419 votes to 309. Also reporting District 8. District 8, the Parker Farm School area, Mr. Brodinsky with 372 votes, Mr. Dickinson with 429. Right now, out of 9, we have 2 out of 9 districts reporting. Your tally is Mayor Dickinson, 848 votes. Michael Brodinsky, 681 votes. So that is VoterVision. And do we have any other numbers? Do we have the council numbers coming in yet? We don't. We're working on those right now. So that is VoterVision for all of you out there watching our coverage tonight. And again, we will continue to bring you the districts as they come in. Incumbent Mayor William Dickinson with a slight lead right now over the Democratic challenger Michael Brodinsky. The polls haven't closed for about 30 minutes now as the numbers continue to come in. We will have them here for you this evening. We'll be bringing you the town council numbers. Those have also come in, and as soon as I get the signal that those are ready, we will bring those to you as well. VoterVision is our computer system that we use here at Cable 18 to total the results as well as add them and bring them to you wherever you are. Do we have any clips ready to go? I'd like to see if we have some clips from the Democratic headquarters at this time where Kenny Blakesley is available. We don't, but we will have Kenny shortly. Okay, very good. We'll have Ken Blakesley reporting from the Hungarian Hall Democratic headquarters in just a couple moments. We're going to go back right now, though, before we do that, to VoterVision. And I believe we have the town council numbers for districts 1 and 8. Let's take a look. Some of the numbers we see: Republican candidate Lois Doherty with 392 votes in District 1 and 377 votes in District 8. That's 769. And as we flip through quickly, Hank Toman, 659 votes. Jerry Farrell, the incumbent, with 840. Steve Knight, the vice chairman of the town council, with 792. Again, 2 districts reporting at this time. Do we have any more results yet on VoterVision? We are working on it, and here they come. James Krupp with 638 votes. Of course, Mr. Krupp, the Democratic candidate for the office of town council. Jim Vombaco comes in with 788 votes, and of course, one of the favorites on the town council, Democratic Councilwoman Iris Papali with 927, so far the highest vote getter of all the town councilors. Let's see if we have any more votes coming in. Yes, we do. Vincenzo Di Natale with 894 votes. Vinny Testa, the Democrat, weighing in with 787 votes. And Michael Spiteri with 728. Again, these are unofficial numbers. 2 districts reporting, District 1 and District 8 at this time. And as we continue down the line, we'll go to the Board of Ed. You're watching Cable 18's VoterVision. Brian Doonan with 667 votes. Andrew Bravo, the chairperson of the Board of Education, with 652. And Joan Barbuto, the 70-year-old Republican candidate for Board of Ed, with 703 votes. More results, and they're coming in quickly. Heather Laffin with 698 votes. Karen Levesque with 750. And the vice chairperson of the Board of Ed, Tom Hennessy, with 693. More results coming in now on VoterVision. Carol Hayden, the Democrat, with 637 votes. Michael Votto making his second run for the Board of Education from a 2-year absence with 658 votes. Jennifer Cozy Hernandez checks in with 564 votes. And as we continue down, Democratic candidate Mike Danino with 574. Cara Perone with 644, and Ford with 586. Again, you're watching Cable 18's VoterVision board, and we're going to report all the districts right here. And we're going to go to the phone. We're going to go to the phone where we have... We're going to go to the phone right now where we have James. Well, do we have Kenny Blakesley? All right, let's bring Kenny in. Yep, we're going to go to Kenny Blakesley, who's on the phone right now from Democratic headquarters. Hi, Kenny.
Hey, John.
How are you?
I'm out with Jim Vombaco right now.
Okay. Hello, Jimmy.
Hold on, what's Jim? Hey, John.
Hi, Jim. Jim, 2 districts reporting right now, and incumbent Mayor William Dickinson leading as of this time. Any surprises right now from districts 1 and 8?
We only have District 1 up here, and there's I think there was 110 vote difference between Mike and Bill.
Okay, we've also received District 8's
Okay.
as
What's the
well,
difference?
Jim.
Oh, okay. We don't have that up yet, so.
And I believe there's about a 200 vote discrepancy right now between the two.
Between the two candidates?
That's correct. We're getting them fast and furious as they come in.
Okay.
We have reports, 2 districts reporting at this time, District
okay.
1 and District 8. Jimmy, how's the mood down there right now?
Oh, it's still pretty good. It's quieted down a little bit as they started seeing the votes starting to be posted, so everybody's more concentrating on the big board now. But it's very crowded. We got a good crowd down here, and everybody seems to be in good spirits.
Jimmy, how are the newcomers handling the election night results as they come in?
Probably better than I am, John.
We're talking with Jim. We're talking with Jim Vambacco, town councilman, a Democratic town councilman. He is live at Democratic headquarters at the Hungarian Hall. And Jimmy, they're a little nervous, but I think you're a little more nervous, huh?
That's right. I don't think they haven't been soon enough to get themselves too nervous.
Well, Jim, thanks for the few minutes. We'll come back. We'll come back to Kenny Blakesley in just a couple minutes, Ken. And do we have any video from Democratic headquarters ready to go? Yes, we do. All right. We have right now an interview with Board of Education, and I'm searching for it right now. Dave Danino. I think I called him John Danino before. I apologize. Dave Danino with Kenny Blakesley. Let's roll that tape right now.